So you want to come and live in Morocco, but you can't figure out residency. If that's the case, then you've got to listen to this video because I know how to do it and I know exactly what you have to do too. And yes, I do offer a service to help you do it with a lawyer. But before we get there, let me explain exactly how you can get residency in Morocco. Now, there are several ways. Number one, you can be part Moroccan, living in Europe and other countries. You can get citizenship actually. Another way is you can be a student here and get residency. Another way is you can find a job here and get residency. Another way is you can start a business and get residency. But the way I'm going to tell you how to get residency is none of those. It's actually, simply, you just need some money and a few other prerequisites. So yes, as an outsider from most countries, you can simply come to Morocco and set up residency. Now there are some prerequisites, and for example, one of them would be, the biggest one I would say, is you need at least 100,000 dirham in your bank account. Now this varies from city to city. It really depends on where you're gonna set up residency. So some places are more expensive than others because the cost of living is higher. But that's number one. And you need that in your bank, and you need to show bank statements, okay, and proof, right? Also, if you have a remote job, that would really help to, further solidify your case. You'd also need a police check or FBI check if you're from the US. It's vital because they need to do a background check, make sure you're not a crazy person. Another thing you'll need is a medical check. The medical check is just to see you're in good shape. It's really easy. You literally just go to your private clinic or whatever. They'll do a few quick checks and then they'll give you a piece of paper with your passport number on it saying, yep, you're all good to go, you're fine, you don't have any weird diseases or illnesses, right? Those are the major prerequisites. Of course, birth certificate, marriage certificate, depending if you have a family and you're coming with a family. But the main thing is, money, police check, etc. Now, it's a bit different here in Morocco. You don't actually go to the city office and apply. You have to actually apply at the police station. Excuse me, there's something passing by. You have to apply at the police station. It's not something you go to your local city office or anything. And that's where some issues can lie, right? There might be communication problems. The police might ask for something that you didn't have, you didn't bring, or wasn't on the list. And to avoid those problems, me personally, I got a lawyer who I work with now to sort all that headache out and to jump over any barriers that, might occur. There's one more thing I almost forgot to mention, and this is vital. You need this or there's no residency for you. And that's either you need to own a property or you need a rental contract. And this is where things can get tricky because generally speaking, the rental contract should be at least a year, okay? So you need to find where you want to be for at least a year, get the rental contract, legalize it, and all the documents that you need to be legalized, right? They need to be stamped either in your home country, if it's like a birth certificate or a police check, or in Morocco, for example, the rental contract has to be legalized and authenticated. Now, where to go, how to get it, where to do it, all these things can be confusing, and I totally understand. Many of you already know I went through the same thing. It took me ages, right? I also had to do the same thing for my wife. So completely get it. It can be overwhelming. Now, let me tell you what your plan of action is. As soon as you have enough money, okay, number one, and as soon as you're ready, like maybe you've quit work or you have a remote job, you can pack your bags and you'll be fine, okay? Now, there are things not related to residency, and that comes to things like opening bank accounts, setting up utilities, the internet, your phone, your contract on your mobile phone. All these things seem straightforward, but they end up having massive barriers like communication issues. And as I mentioned in the previous videos, setting up the internet wasn't as simple as it sounds. The company came, they needed permission to drill through the walls. They didn't know who to get permission from. So they kept coming and going without taking initiative and finding out, who do I talk to? Where do I get this piece of paper signed for permission? I had to do all of the heavy lifting, basically. And that's why I actually created a service for you guys looking to come to Morocco, because I needed this service and it wasn't available. So, like I said, I work with a lawyer who does the legal side of things, and he doesn't just stop at, residency. If there's any issues that may occur, like any legal barriers or any missing documentation, he'll try to find a way around it and advise you. So it's always nice to have the lawyer do that side of things and do all the communication, with the police and, helping with the rental contract, etc. So that's all done. And me, I do all the running around, right? So what I'll do is I'll help you get your house. Basically, you tell me what you want, your criteria. I'll do the searching. Before you even arrive, what we'll do is we'll set up meetings to go see those houses and see if they're good or not, right? We won't waste any time, because look, you only have 3 months when you're in Morocco to do all of this, or you'll have to kind of leave and come back, right? And your documents only last 3 months. So if it passes the 3-month mark, then you're going to have to get those documents again. And it can be a headache, especially if you're from the US and you need, the FBI check. You need to give your fingerprints, right? So you either need to go there directly or use your consulate to take your fingerprints again, and all that stuff is a headache. So yeah, I do all the running around on that side, help with utilities, help with communication, and basically all the barriers that I faced, you won't have to face. And the idea of this service is to make it completely and utterly stress-free for you, inshallah, where all you literally need to do is land and be there for the important parts, like the signing and the apartment viewing. And yeah, it's not a necessary service. You could figure it out yourself, but it can take some time and barriers and difficulties, and hopefully this will help, inshallah. Look, I don't really recommend coming to Morocco if you don't have a plan of action when it comes to your income. Because look, even if you have the savings, right, they're going to burn out eventually. You need to have some sustainable kind of income coming in, or from remote jobs, some business, or at least some business idea. Or last possible scenarios, you have a massive amount of savings that can last you a lifetime and you don't need to worry about anything. That would be amazing. But yeah, really think about it, plan it out. Don't just jump into it. Moving country is a big decision. So, but the risk is low, because look at this. Even after a year, if you don't really like it, or you feel like, oh, I can't make it here, it's not my cup of tea, you can always go back. It's not the end of the world, right? Yeah, it's a bit of a headache, but no problem. And I just want to tell you about residency. Look, your first year, you're only going to get a year residency, but don't worry. For reapplication, you're going to need the exact same things, right? Like the police check, but this time the police check will be in Morocco, right? And you need to get it from Rabat. And you'll need, proof for funds and the birth certificates and all that stuff. But the second time round, you get 3 years, okay? So you won't have to apply for another 3 years. And the third time round, you'll get a 10-year visa. But here in Morocco, after 5 years, you can actually apply for citizenship, yes? So once you've got citizenship, there's no more need for applications of visas or whatever. Now, you don't have to get citizenship. You'll still get the 10-year visas. But why not? If your country allows dual citizenship, then it just makes your life easier, right? You're a proper Moroccan at that point. Look, I've talked to many people about my service, and I've always asked them, why Morocco? Many people talk about, the safety, the idea that, it's a Muslim country and they can be more Muslim, the idea of the cost of living, the idea of like the Western world's kind of going downhill. There's many reasons to move to Morocco, right? And to be honest, I'm not trying to sell it to you. You kind of already know. But I'm really curious as to what your reason is for wanting to move to Morocco. Because look, everyone has different ideas of what Morocco can be and is. And many of you are thinking of moving here and you've never even visited, which is not what I would advise. But I mean, I guess anything is better than the UK at the moment. So I get that part. But I'm really curious, why do you want to move to Morocco? And a small piece of advice, look, don't move to Marrakesh. It's a tourist hotspot, too many people, the summer's too hot. It's a nice place to visit, but personally for me, it's not my cup of tea. You might have liked it there on a holiday and that's fine, but to live there, especially during the summer months, I don't know, it's just like hell on earth. It's too hot. It's way too hot. I would definitely recommend a place like Tétouan, Tangier, Rabat, around that area, north. That's good. Even Agadir in the south, that's a nice place, holiday destination. And remember, it's more or less the same requirements everywhere, but it can vary depending on the place you're applying. So what my lawyer does is he actually calls the police station you want to apply to, if he's never called there before, if it's in some other place, and he'll find out exactly what they want, right? And obviously he does all the communication and all the talking when it comes to what's required. And guys, you know what? The crazy thing is, guys, that it took me over 2 years to set all of this up, because I tried to do it by myself, and Yeah, my case was a slightly more complicated. It wasn't as straightforward. You can look at my video with Make Hijrah for more information, or one of the videos I think I posted on my own channel, and you'll understand why mine was a little more complicated. But yeah, guys, I really look forward to seeing Morocco, inshallah. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, you know what to do. So let's do it, inshallah.